And horseback riding is a classic outdoor activity in South Dakota, and one organization helps make sure everyone can have their first rodeo. Suncatcher Therapeutic Riding Academy helps people with disabilities through therapeutic horsemanship. The group hosted their 2025 rodeo today, with 26 participants taking the reins. One participant spoke about how horseback riding has been important in her life.
I started doing this program when I was 2 with doing hippotherapy. And then I stopped that when I was 6 and loved horse riding so much that I've been doing it since.
The horses can also receive benefits from their involvement, and after her barn burned down, killing many of her beloved animals, Donna Thompson's miniature horses had nowhere to stay.
After the fire, I couldn't stay. It was just too devastating for me, so I contacted Francie here at Suncatchers and just asked if she would be interested in, 2 miniature horses. Cool.
Thompson's horses are now part of Suncatcher, and she says they have done well in their first year of training.